Hi everyone, and welcome to the NHVR portal webinar for release 7.3.0. The release will go out this afternoon at 4 p.m. I'm Steve Ryan, Product Analyst with the Digital Products Group, and I'm joined by John Barry, who's the Product Manager for the Digital Products Group. Hi John.
Hi Steve, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks John. And for the first time, we're recording this and coming to you from our houses. So something new for all of us. I'm sure everyone's doing some new things for work. So this is our new work from home procedures that we've got in place. So just quickly cover across the agenda. We'll do a quick spot of housekeeping about the outline of the webinar, talk about the highlighted new features in release 7.3.0, a quick overview of the portal roadmap for 2020, which there's some updates in there from the last time we had a webinar, and then some contact information at the close of the webinar. As mentioned, I'm Steve Ryan, Product Analyst with the Digital Products Group. I'm joined by John Barry, who's the Product Manager for the Digital Products Group. The webinar format, we've got slides and some feature demonstrations, which will include videos or live demonstrations. If you have any questions on the material, there's an email address there that you can send your queries through to, and this video of the webinar will be uploaded to the Portal Help Centre once we're complete. And as I said at the start, the release will go live at 4 p.m. this afternoon on 22nd of April.
Thanks, Steve. The release 7.3.0 has had a number of internal features that will help with case processing across vehicle standards, accreditation and access. But there are a couple of features that will affect operators and improve things in the access space, as well as overcome a small issue we had with accreditation, which is the first one we'll have a look at. So with accreditation, we've had mass maintenance BFM certificates that have been available to download from the accreditation module in the portal. To date, we haven't had the ability to provide AFM certificates unless your accreditation was only AFM. The issue is around having two certificates being available from the portal. So this new feature that we're releasing today provides the ability to have both, so that now you will be able to download from the portal your AFM certificate, as well as your mass maintenance or BFM certificate if you have one. Just an example of that, on your accreditation landing page, you'll see the options for viewing certificate. That has been available, like I said, for mass maintenance and BFM. Now you'll see it for AFM, but only for certificates that get loaded up from today. So we'll still go through and upload the certificates for existing customers who have advanced fatigue management module. But for any of those that are establishing or maintaining the AFM module, you'll be able to download that certificate from your accreditation landing page. Now the next feature is around access. It's a feature that was lost a little bit from what we had previously before we looked at the automation around amending your permit to add vehicles. That feature essentially allows customers to update, remove, add vehicles to a permit and have that process almost instantaneously. The issue that we had when we brought that new feature in is that there was a feature to upload vehicles from a CSV file, and that feature was essentially broken when we implemented the automation for amend permit vehicles. We've now brought that back in, so we'll have a look at we've got a video demonstration for this one. So the standard process applies for amending your permit. If you go and find the permit that you want to add vehicles to, from the permit management, you'll have permit actions to apply for amendment, and that will create the new amendment case or application. If you select the amend vehicles option and proceed, the import from CSV file option has been updated so that now it's no longer broken. It has been resolved for a number of weeks. We did implement this feature a little bit early to make sure that it was in there and working. You can see now, and those that will play for this after 4 o'clock, that you'll be able to not just add vehicles, but use that CSV file to indicate whether you're actually removing or updating, and you'll find that information within the help material that we'll publish as part of this release, but also there's some instructions within the CSV file itself that will guide you in terms of how to do that. For those that are used to using accreditation and the vehicle upload there, it's very similar, in fact based on it. Just as a note, as I rerun this video, the download import template is important. You will need to get a fresh copy of that import template before you enter the vehicles in it, and that link's just available from beneath that import CSV file button. Okay. So those are the two main features that affect customers. No real changes from road manager perspective or service providers, for example, auditors in the accreditation and NHVR space. But what I do want to highlight for everyone as part of this looking at the roadmap for 2020 is we've done now the work through the discovery phase to really get a handle on PBS. This is the very high level summarized view of what we're looking at throughout this year to the rest of this year. Access continues with permit workflow automation, the internal review workflows, the LEN and notice consultations are really some additional features, more to do with road access and managing those processes, particularly with notice consultation with road managers, that we want to bring into the portal fully. And then from accreditation and vehicle standards perspective, the MVP there, the minimum viable product, we've been constantly throughout the first quarter of this year and into this month, making sure that we get the features that are needed to make those services work fully in there. So AFM certificate that we just had a look at is one of those. One of the features that's being worked on in the background for the accreditation facilitators in the accreditation area is the ability to system generate those AFM certificates. So at the moment, they'll be manually uploading those. The mass maintenance and BFM certificates have been automated, so they're generated automatically by the system, but those AFM ones are one of the remaining items to be completed as part of the MVP. From a vehicle standards perspective, the MVP has really focused on, again, some of the back-end features for the engineers, for the case facilitators in vehicle standards. Any highlights there, Steve, in terms of what's left?
I think, as you say, John, a lot of it has been back-end stuff. So around the case workflow for the vehicle standards case officers and the supervisors, there are some of the functions that they've been using, some emails and those types of things. So we're getting more of that functionality sort of in shape within the portal. So I think, as the roadmap shows, those the basic building blocks in there for them to be able to do that work is nearing completion, and then there'll be that ongoing maintenance, bug fixes and minor enhancements. But I think mainly the internal stuff that's been worked on is around case workflow. So hopefully that makes the end-to-end process and timeframes provides good support for those.
Awesome. So, as Steve said there, the access accreditation vehicle standards, moving into that maintenance, bug fix and minor improvements mode, will start progressively occurring from May, and from July will be really most heavily focused in the new development area around PBS. That doesn't mean that from an access accreditation or vehicle standards perspective, we will not continue to do new work in there. We certainly will be. And as a platform, the PBS work will enhance the platform itself. That will have crossover benefits for all users of the platform, including the access accreditation vehicle standard service lines. But initially our focus will be very much on first having moved out of the discovery phase, which is really getting to understand the problems in PBS, leveraging a lot of research that has been previously done with PBS certifiers, PBS assessors, almost this time last year, and before that, as well as doing some more follow-up research based on one of the key problems that we see that we think and believe that the portal can help facilitate, which is how do we get PBS DAs and then the VAs more closely, more seamlessly integrated with Access, so that those vehicle approvals can provide more certainty at the end of the day for PBS applicants that that vehicle will get the required access to make those approvals and the whole process actually valuable to you. What we'll be attacking in the first few months from now is again a bit of underlying work. The PBS vehicle builder, which will extend the current vehicle builder we have in Access and used by vehicle standards to support for those that have been involved in PBS applications. Quite a complex set of information that goes into the engineering details of a vehicle, and we want to be able to support that digitally. So we'll be doing a bit of that. We also want to upgrade the back end of the platform so that's able to support what are quite complex engineering assessment algorithms that again will help us to add automation and improve efficiencies in the case management workflow, as well as help to streamline the provision of that information through to road managers and their engineers. But our focus for the next, well, through to December, will be on 3 key deliverables, and they'll be focused on the PBS assessors and certifiers, who are the ones that put forward the applications for design approvals and vehicle approvals and manage those cases through to receiving those approval documents or otherwise. So the first step will be a PBS application submission channel, and what that will provide is the first online presence for PBS in the portal. It will allow the PBS assessors and certifiers to submit existing applications through an online channel. And while small from that perspective, it does offer the ability to provide an immediate receipt and application number once those PBS applications are submitted. While that is being launched, we'll start working on the case tracking so that by October we have the ability for those cases to be tracked from the application, and that will include also existing cases as well. So the approach that we've taken, which we put forward in previous roadmaps, where we'd iterate through and not do, I guess, what you'd call a big bang to implement a brand new system, is certainly what you're seeing represented on this schedule. So in between the July, the end of August, we'll be looking to bed down the submission channel. 3 months later, we'll be looking to bring in the case tracking, and then 3 months after that, we'll be looking at the design approval and vehicle approval smart forms, where we fully digitise that front end experience. Again, as that process of launching those tools to PBS assessors and certifiers is being conducted through the alpha and beta phases. For those familiar with the way that we attacked vehicle standards and accreditation, we went through an alpha, a beta, and then a live phase, and we're using that same approach. Again, we're doing it though in these several iterations. So alpha is where we really understand the design and engage with the primary users. So in this case, between June and July, we'll be looking to re-engage with PBS certifiers and assessors to understand the application submission channel side of things, but also look forward to how account management works, bringing in a lot of the underlying features required to enable self-service, including the ability to add in your own users and manage an account with multiple users, and obviously be able to track draft applications, submitted cases, and then finally, as we go past into 2021, we'll be looking at the generation of those design approvals and vehicle approvals, as well as more sophisticated search and inquiry features that will leverage the digitisation of that information. I'll probably mention that with the PBS design approvals and vehicle approval smart forms, when we start looking at that from September, we'll also be looking at how we can provide a standard that will allow us to provide an import mechanism so that we can more seamlessly take data from systems that PBS assessors or certifiers may be using, and we'll be working with those organisations and those individuals to form up a standard that will allow the more fluid and automated exchange of data. The approach then will be that at each of these stages, we'll assess how we're going and make any updates as needed. So our key focus at the moment between May and July will be to focus on the PBS application submission and the underlying upgrades we need to do to support the rest of the initiative. And that's, I guess, the current view of how we're attacking PBS. It does represent the major focus for the digital products group, and we hope to see some early benefits coming through between that July and August time period.
That's great, John. Thanks for the overview of that. Looks like a lot of work coming up, and good to see that the roadmap and plans taking shape. So looks like we've got lots of like interesting and sort of valuable stuff ahead of us.
Sure do.
Some details there on the next portal will be during May 2020. The date will be announced. Given if the current restrictions are on, you'll probably see us exactly as you are now, broadcasting from home. So there's some information there on the screen if you need to get in contact around where you can go to the Help Centre to get help articles or the webinars. So this will be put up there post the go live this afternoon for the release at 4 o'clock. There's also phone numbers and email addresses there. So thanks for joining us and look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.